Well, hello there, everybody, and thank you for showing up today. Today, we are doing part 4 of how students can search the internet productively, and we are focusing on HyperDocs. So let's go ahead and get started. A little bit about the history of a HyperDoc. It was introduced back in 2013 by 3 educators, Lisa Highfill, Kelly Hilton, and Sarah Landris. They were looking for an interactive digital lesson that would facilitate student-centered learning and inquiry-based learning, as well as requiring higher-level thinking skills. In 2016, they actually published a book called the HyperDoc Handbook, and it is fabulous. If you don't own a copy, I highly suggest you going out and getting one. It focuses on the complete learning cycle: engage, explore, explain, apply, share, reflect, and extend. And that's a lot of what the lesson plan is built on, and I will show you about that later. HyperDocs also focus on the 4 C's: critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. HyperDocs are also designed for individual and collaborative use. They support differentiation of instruction and the universal design for learning. It was in the late 2010s that HyperDocs gained their traction. Educators worldwide were using them, and it was the book in 2016, the HyperDoc Handbook, that really pushed the use of HyperDocs in the classroom. In 2019, they introduced the HyperDocs Online Academy, and it literally was just-in-time training because right after 2019, we got hit 2020 with remote learning and COVID. So teachers needed to have access to digital tools and a way to engage students asynchronously, which means not at the same time. The teacher and the student were not necessarily always working at the same time on classroom materials. And so it was HyperDocs that actually provided a structure and yet flexible solution to teachers when teaching remote. In 2025, here we are today, they are continually being used in blended and digital classrooms in the K-12 education arena. And as new tools come out, HyperDoc finds a way to incorporate them in the different activities. Everything from AI-driven resources to interactive platforms like quizzes, Padlet, and others. HyperDocs can also be used across all subject areas. HyperDoc is not just a document with links. They are designed with goals and resources that are supposed to spark inquiry and help scaffold learning. They are not digital worksheets. They incorporate student choice, student reflection, and creation. They are extremely flexible because you can use Google Docs, Google Slides, you can use Microsoft Office, or any other platforms that you have access to. They support a variety of learning models, everything from the 3-step, which is explore, explain, and apply, to the 7-step model, which is used predominantly by the HyperDocs lesson plan. One key point about HyperDocs is that the 3 educators that created them or came up with the idea are really pushing the idea to let them remain free, to be shared among educators, and to avoid commercialization. They want this to be a community shared resource. Here are a variety of resources that I have found over the years. This one is the HyperDocs from the HyperDocs website. And if you go there, you will find all kinds of resources, how to set up a HyperDoc. There'll be a copy of the lesson plan format that I use or that I've borrowed from them, and I use it regularly. All kinds of resources. Then there's elementary HyperDoc examples, HyperDocs about HyperDocs for teachers. This is kind of where it's a presentation on how to create one. HyperDoc Toolbox. This is from the website Ditch That Textbook by Matt, and I believe his last name is Miller. If you haven't checked out that website, it's awesome. It gives all kinds of resources for teachers to use with their students in the classroom. And again, last but not least, one of my favorite resources is Teacher Paid Teachers. If you need a HyperDoc real quick for an activity, this is the place to go. There's going to be something there that you can use. All right. So we're going to get into HyperDocs. The first thing I want to show you is the HyperDoc template. So here is the lesson or unit template. Teacher instructions. To use this HyperDoc template, you're going to make a copy, then follow the lesson design notes to add content. Add instructions for each and examples as necessary. You can share the HyperDoc lesson through Canvas or Google Classroom with the students. So here is engage, explore, explain, apply, share, reflect, extend, and assess. So in the left side of the lesson plan, they encourage you to put the links, add an image, something that would hook the students into wanting to proceed with the lesson. On the right-hand side is the teacher task. This is where you're going to put your instructions for the students. So you're going to list website lists to text or videos that are being used to engage the students at the start of the lesson, provide instructions for what the students are supposed to do after they read or watch the content material, and then have students generate questions that they have regarding the topic. This is where I like to use a KWL. You know, what do I know? What do I want to know? What have I learned? Then for the Explore, again, you're listing your links for the text or videos that the students need to access. And then on the right-hand side is the instructions. And again, all the way down. So enough about this. Let's go ahead and take a look at an already existing HyperDoc. This one is about ratios. Okay, so part one, let's use our imagination. You earn tickets at a class trip to the arcade. Take the envelope from your desk and meet your teacher at the back table to redeem your ticket for a prize. Part two, in the space below, draw a picture that shows the number of tickets and the number of pieces of candy that you have. Then the Explore piece, choose at least one of the two links below to learn about ratios. You can watch this video, you can learn about ratios from Khan Academy, or you can explore a lesson about ratios. So this is independent learning. Share. Based on your exploration, Show 3 ways to write a ratio using Padlet. Padlet is a website that you can use, and basically it's taking like sticky notes, and you create a title, which is where the student puts their name, and then on the base of the sticky note is where they write their answer. All right, so there they've shared their knowledge. Apply. Based on what you have learned about ratios, write the ratio for the number of tickets to the number of candy you received and show your ratio below. So here is where they would write the ratio. Extend. Practice what you learned about ratios by doing the quiz on Study Jams. So there is an example of a ratios HyperDoc.